Our next guest, she's talented. She is a rhymer of fierce wit and intelligence. You done? Yeah. Okay. I asked you if you were okay, and then you started plugging things in. Listen, she's a very talented musician, a hip-hop legend. She's the star of her own sitcom, and we're going to talk about that. Please welcome to the stage Jean Grae, ladies and gentlemen. Jean, come on up here. Have the microphone there. Jean Grae. This is a real honor to meet you.
This is very cool to be here. Can I say like a couple of things?
Sure, absolutely.
Number one, I was really angry that I was left out of the Garfield conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sitting in the second. I was in the second row. I was like, oh, come on, don't yell it out. Don't yell it out. That would be weird. So I didn't, because I was like, you're up next. Just fucking wait.
That's right.
Just be cool.
Be ashamed if something weird happened on this show.
Yeah. Who would think that?
What were your thoughts on Garfield?
My favorite is the Garfield theory that Garfield is actually starving to death, and that everyone, mainly John and Odie, are just figments of his imagination. So, yeah, I like to come out and make the show real dark. All right. So I would be that Garfield. I want to be the delusional.
An alternate take on old Jim Davis's output.
Yeah.
Well, that gets into it, doesn't it? Did you read the Sunday comics? What was Sunday mornings like at the Grae household?
Sunday morning, I didn't know this, but a friend of my mom's that I saw about a month ago, ran into in California. She was like, I remember you always with the New York Times. I was like, what? What? She's like, yeah, you just take that crossword puzzle and go. And she sounds exactly like that, which is also terrifying. Why were you at our house sounding like that?
And you were a big crossword enthusiast.
I don't remember that at all. But apparently I was around 5 or 6, and I don't know if I actually filled anything out. Nobody else in the house would have cared, so I may have just been drawing doodles inside of it. But I was a pretty smart kid. So
I'd imagine you were.
Thanks.
And now we've been talking a lot of, at least in my own mind, about making it and getting there. And of course, you've had tremendous success in your career. Where are you at right now, thinking about that in terms of what's next for you?
I'm happy when anyone says that, basically. Then that makes me feel better. Because I'm mainly like, man, I'm messed up. I messed this whole thing up. Rap has been fun. It's been since I think like 1995.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of been just one to be doing everything. You know, I was producing my own stuff and engineering it, and so in the past few years, it's been more of a, hey, I want to finally do everything that I want to do. Also because I'm getting old and I'm probably going to die soon, so.
That's my feeling as well.
I have rickets.
Do you have rickets?
No.
I like going with you on that one. But you know, that's why I have all these great people here today, because I think we're all this kind of talents that are just operating on a couple of levels and really pushing stuff out there. And of course, we all self-release as we get older. That's
yes.
true. But
I self-release now. I started early.
We're all putting a lot of stuff out there, and this sitcom really is something that you have going on called Life with Jeannie. And is it a web series? Is it fair to say that, or no? Because you call it a sitcom.
Yeah, only because it's on the web. But I don't like the term web series because it's a situational comedy. So please call it a sitcom. And I worked really hard to make it a half an hour long, because that's what sitcoms mean to me. They should be half an hour.
Do you watch a lot of TV as a kid?
A lot. Too much.
Yeah. What's the pantheon there? What's the tops?
I don't know. I was born in '76, so all the good sitcoms that were out.
All the classics. You watched all of them?
Absolutely.
Were you a latchkey kid?
No.
No.
But I did grow up. I don't know how many of you guys are from New York and who. What? She got a yell on? Really? Come on.
Some little town in Maine.
I'm from a little town in Maine. All right, let's go with that.
New York? No.
No. Never heard of it. That's crazy. I actually grew up in Chelsea, in the Chelsea Hotel. So, latchkey kid, no, but then much more exciting on the suicides and murders.
That must have been terribly making an impression on you.
Yeah, you don't think about it until you get older.
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
Unusual. Who was hanging out there then?
You know, the Sid and Nancy thing happened when I was, you know, there. I wasn't like there in the room.
No, that's good.
That's good for me.
Probably good.
But yeah,
Saving you on some therapy, I imagine.
A little bit. No, not really.
Wow, that must have been really something.
Yeah.
Have you drawn on that as an artist?
I think it's lent to the general. I sort of just, you know, I realize I'm different everywhere I go. Like, I got here tonight, and I've done a couple of shows upstairs.
Yeah.
So I walked to the back, like I just opened the door, and they were standing there, and they're like, "You look lost." And then immediately in my mind, I was like, racist. And I was like, no, because you look like this. No, it's the no, come on.
Should have been a chubby, bearded white dude.
Yeah, no, they would have been fine. They would have been like, oh, what set are you in?
You wanted to show downstairs. Yeah.
It is. I'm working on it. I'm working on it this year, along with some other things. I'm working on getting the. There's reverse tanning, which they're offering at Planet Fitness now, so that's good.
But now this sitcom, you have it structured interestingly,
yes.
Because it's 30 minutes, but then it'll be episode 1 will be split into a number of parts.
Yes.
So you have like part 1, 2, and 3, or 4, however many you have. It seems to me and then it's also very layered an operation, because it's a sitcom. But also there's animated episodes.
Yes.
So is it something akin to a visual album?
Kind
which is
of.
what Beyonce called it.
She did, but she has trillions of dollars, so I can't call it that. I think she actually has copywritten that. We might have gotten sued just now.
I hope
or
so.
Solange is going to come in and fight you in an elevator. I don't know.
I'll take the press.
We should do it. I think with Life with Jeannie specifically, I wanted to do everything on the first season, which was break every rule that you shouldn't do in the first season of a sitcom. So the first episode is Christmas episode. Like, why would you do? The second episode is a Valentine's Day episode, but also a dream sequence.
Yes.
The third episode was completely animation.
Right.
And the fourth episode, which is coming out tomorrow night, is sort of like an Inception episode. So it's a documentary team following us around, asking us questions within the show. You're welcome.
But it's great though. It's terrific. But do you see it in the same? Do you approach it in the same kind of way that you would an album? Here's why I asked that question. Because you have cuts that happen within this. Mm-hmm. You talk about breaking the form, but then you say, okay, it's a Christmas episode, but then all of a sudden there's a cut to a clown girl from some 70s movie, and then some animated thing from the 20s, and it won't even be like a sequence. It's just like it happens, and you question whether you've seen it or not.
Yes.
And whether you're doing
and whether
okay.
you're okay.
That's
which
right.
is really what I want from people. I would like to show up generally and then have people be like, is something wrong with me?
But that kind of layering and drawing from all different places. Am I right that you had 96 different tracks in a vocal, or 96 vocal tracks in a single song?
Yes, I like to be complicated. No, you know what? I like to layer things, and I think things should be interesting. There's also times where awesome song about your bicycle.
Thank you.
I just got training wheels on my bicycle, so I will be riding around the city. I will see you there at some point.
People in New York City don't know how to ride bikes.
They don't. We don't. But
what we ought to do is give them free bikes then.
Yeah. That's fine. Steal them. They're free. I wanted to do that because I wanted to watch movies while I was riding, be able to drink, and then also to play my ukulele. So I think that I use the uke in terms of I love minimal stuff.
Yeah.
But then I love things that are also really complicated. It depends on the mood. It depends on what you want to deliver.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like writing in general.
And are you also parallel to this working on an album?
Yeah. I see you slammed your drink down again.
But it's okay. We've never picked that
It's
up.
over now. It's done. Frank's gone. It's over.
It's fine. I was having an anxiety attack about whether or not to put mine up here. So thank you for making
Took
that.
that bullet. Yeah, took that bullet for everyone.
I have 2 other albums coming out. There's Cake or Death, which is coming this summer. There's another
What's it called? Cake or Death? Yes, okay. Yep.
There will be, well, that escalated quickly. In about 2 weeks. Just haven't started recording it yet. And actually tomorrow, it's an album called That's Not How You Do That.
June 26th, there'll be.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
It's an instructional album for adults.
All right.
Yes, such things as keep to the right when ascending or descending stairs. Why don't you know that?
A whole song of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
How to deplane.
That's a critical one.
Oh God, it is.
That's where we waste the most time.
It's horrible.
They haven't thought that through.
It's. I don't understand.
There should
why
be 2 doors. Just open up 2 doors.
or just a shotgun. That would also help me.
That would also help,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, those are two good ones to look forward to, then both
I feel
of
like
those
I've gone
sounds
so
good.
dark.
But now, it's okay, I'm here with you.
Okay.
Look at this. Wore my duck tie for you.
It's fantastic.
And so you're also friends with Johnny Hodgman.
I am.
He's a great Gowanus enthusiast.
He is a Gowanus
And
enthusiast.
you talk about flying the planes and deplaning. I saw him on the plane on a trip
Yes.
from LA. Not enthusiastic about making eye contact.
Really? No.
No, he was not eager to. I gave him the nod. You know, we've had correspondence, of course, 2 people out here in the world doing things.
Talking.
Similar kind of,
knowing each other.
you know, kind of worlds we're in.
Yeah.
And I gave him one of these, you know, like, hey, buddy. And fierce, ice cold stare. Yeah.
Also with a hand.
Yeah.
He was like, mm-mm.
Twirled that little old timey mustache he had.
Yeah,
No, he was not
that's
into it.
that's a good thing. I would like to. That's the one thing that I'm really disappointed about in this life.
Yeah.
That I can't grow a handlebar mustache.
Well, maybe
So-
after menopause or something.
Well, yeah, no, but then I gotta wait. And then I hate the fact that the hipster way has gone the way of the handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Because I had one done a really long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But then I was like, well, if everyone's gonna do that, then I want to add more to mine. I want more of a disguise, so I added a goatee.
To your finger?
Just
Yeah. There it is. Nice.
or just the evil.
Just
that.
the evil hand
Just
on the
that.
chin. Yep.
You didn't even recognize me for a second.
I thought Hodgman was here, honestly. Just afraid to look at you. But and you got some gigs coming up?
Probably not.
Good. Well, you got the albums. That's
I have the albums, but
And the
I've been
TV
trying to not
shows.
perform. I've been trying
Really?
to not perform just because the show takes just a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Because I'm writing, directing, I'm in it, I edit it, I shot a lot of all of them. So it's a lot of me doing that. But I just had 2 shows. We can talk about those. I don't know how that really helps anyone, unless there's a time machine. The other night, you should have been there. It
I
was
should
really
have.
good.
What was that? North Brooklyn Comedy Festival?
Brooklyn
something?
Comedy Festival.
Yeah. You like comedy?
I do. I do some comedy in my spare time, which I don't really have.
Yeah.
So this
Stand
was pretty
up,
much
full on
it. So I
stand.
hope this was funny. So it fulfills my comedy quota
Are
for
you
the week.
kidding me? It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
That's great. Well, and where can people find the series?
You can find it on JeanGraeTV.com. It is every other Thursday, because if it was every Thursday, I would stab my eyes out. And lucky for you guys, episode 4 is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And there's also a bunch of music you can buy on there, and a book that I wrote with an audiobook.
That's right. It's a wonderful State of A.
Yeah.
Of A.
Yeah.
Kind of a Canadian novel. Yeah. And that's
State
about
of-
your life?
Yeah, it's a lot of stories that I probably shouldn't tell out loud, and then I was like, I should write them down. Let me just make an audio
Let's
book
just
too.
talk about it. Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm so excited for everything that you have going,
Thank you.
and it's wonderful to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Jean Grae, everybody.